Yes, yes, yes. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the weekly Outlook call. It's your boy Wall Street. Appreciate y'all for tuning in today. Not gonna be long, but we'll be strong. Just want to give y'all a quick weekly outlook on what it is that I could potentially see happening this week. Probably review a couple of trades from last week as well, but main priority is being adequately prepared for this week. All right. So with that being said, do just want to start off on the DXY. Super important to start off on a DXY because it gives us a great insight as to what we could potentially see happening for the rest of the week, especially across a lot of pairs. The DXY being the most influential, thing in the currency market. We always want to be in alignment and have a good, solid understanding of what the DXY is doing, right? So I do see this potential for a supply chain to be forming. If we look right here, we do have an area of supply that does come up. We sweep a little bit of highs right here before rolling over to the downside again. We had a little high form right here that I'm gonna use as internal range liquidity, and we see the market came and tapped into that. Same thing happens here, right? We create a high, then the market creates a weak high here as internal range liquidity. So as the market comes back up into this area, I really would not be surprised at all for us to have a bearish week or so. Obviously, I do have to pay attention to the fact that we do have this, this low, lower low, then we make this higher low right here. So obviously, there is the possibility that the market continues bullish because in a more retail pattern, this is what we call an inverted head and shoulders because you see the left shoulder, you see a head, you see a right shoulder right here, right? Now, although I don't look for those patterns often, but at the end of the day, it is a common reversal pattern. Now, at the same time, I am looking at this on the daily chart, right? So, with us being on the daily chart, you know, there is a potential for the market to continue bullish over time, but I do feel at least for the next few days or the next week, we could drop. Even if we drop from here and then continue up, that drop right there on the daily is still going to provide a lot of good intraday setups across other pairs. An even better scenario if we can come down and actually clear out the low here before potentially going up again. Our best case scenario, we come and clear all the lows right here or potentially here, right? So, like I said, regardless of what the market does long term, I do feel like we have a bullish week ahead of us that could give us some nice opportunities. All right. So, with that being said, I am bearish on the DXY with us running into this supply zone where we bought up, cleared some highs to the left, and then had huge selling pressure to the downside. We even left a little gap right here. That should just tell you just how aggressively the market was selling off. But just with that being said, I do feel pretty good about the market giving us this type of retracement. Again, whether we make a lower low or whether we just make a higher low before continuing bullish, I'm expecting bearishness for this week across DXY pairs, right? So with that being said, if the USD I believe is going bearish, then that means GBP USD should probably be going bullish. All right. So if we just take a look at this on a daily chart, obviously you do see we have this area of imbalance over here to the left. We see the market created a low, obviously pushed up, making a new high. And the market has been bearish for quite a while. I mean, we're talking about since back to what is this, March 8th or so. Market has been in a downtrend for well over a month. And I do feel like that's part of the reason why we should probably anticipate a reaction to the other direction. The market has been dropping for a while, but even more importantly than that, just on the higher time frame, and I know I got a lot on my charts right now. It might be a little hard to see, and I do trade GBP USD the absolute most. But there is a lot of stuff on the chart, so bear with me. And so similar situation here to the DXY, because I see the high up here, then I see this lower high right here. I'm completely aware that the market could keep dropping lower based off of the market creating a lower high on the weekly and the daily and stuff like that. But however, I do see again some bullishness coming into the scenario so where one or two things can happen. Either the bullishness makes a higher high or the bullishness can just create a lower high to push the market back down again. Either way, I do believe that will get a bounce out of this area. Just simple fact of, mitigation is something I've talked to you guys about at large. We got selling taking place here. We got buying taking place here. So just with that being said, just the sell to buy candle itself, tells me that there's a lot of demand within this candle. And when we see a weekly sell to buy candle, I mean, you gotta assume that there's profit taking place here. You gotta assume that people are hedging positions, not hedging, but mitigating positions right here. So, assuming that there's gonna be some sort of mitigation that takes place, I'm 100% open to the concept of us potentially buying up. Maybe it buys up from where it is. Maybe it goes a tad bit lower. But overall, I personally believe that we'll get some buys on GU this week. All right. We're already within the area of interest. So now it's just about, being smart about when you get in. A lot of people have different methods towards getting into trades, right? Some people want to see lower time frame reversal patterns. Some people just want to see bullish engulfing pattern. Some people just want to see wick exhaustion amongst the lows. Whatever you use as your confirmation to enter, just go for it and feel comfortable with it. Set your stop loss and, live with the results. Me personally, I'm not a guy that waits for a lot of lower time frame confirmation to take a trade. I actually prefer to take the trade before there's confirmation because the additional confirmation just means that you're going to be late to the party, right? So, for example, if I took the trade where it is right now, let's say I take this trade from right here, and then if the market starts going up, let me see, I'll draw it. Then if the market starts going up, it'll be a wick right here, right? And then the, candle body will be like right here. So this is the candle body. And you got a little wick right here. Then I'd be in the trade right on the wick, right? So that's how you get wick entries is by, truth be told, not waiting on confirmation. But let's say I wait for the wick to form, then I wait for a bullish engulfing or something like that. Then you're gonna be getting in up here, right? Because you waited to visually see the rejection first before getting in. I'd rather anticipate the rejection than wait on the rejection. That's just me. It helps my risk to reward. That's the difference between having a 10 pip stop and a 30 pip stop. So if you're risking the same amount of money, that's the difference between you dropping one standard and three standards. So it's like it makes a huge difference when you can start to trade with anticipation, because if that takes you from a 1 to 3 to a 1 to 9 type of trade, you see how much more money you can potentially make, right? So, like I said, I'm not telling you to trade recklessly, but sometimes you just have to push the button. Like there's only so many time frames you're gonna see confirmations on before you don't see anymore, right? I've seen people that want to see a confirmation on the hour or the 4 hour chart, the 1 hour chart, the 15, the 30, then they go down to the 5 minute, the 1 minute. Like you're not gonna see it on every single solitary time frame. Like after like the 15 minutes, like just get in, bro. Just just get in the market. So with that being said, I'm not saying you gotta buy this the moment the market opens up, but I'd be open to getting in this zone, especially if it's pushing lower. The point of interest is pretty good. So yeah, we're talking 90 pips just about. So this would be an example where you don't necessarily buy the moment the market opens, but maybe if the market can drop a little bit lower towards that 50% point, that'll be better because now your stop loss could be a maximum of 40 pips or so rather than close to 80. So overall, I do see a rejection happening in the shaded area. I see it. I have a large volume imbalance, price imbalance right here. But as you guys know, you may have heard me say this before. The areas where I have super big imbalances, I actually don't look for them to be respected. I look for them to get blown through like that, right? So I'm actually expecting bullishness because of that reason. I'm also expecting bullishness because of the liquidity that's forming right here as well. So as the market was pushing down, it was just creeping down slow, right? And just all of this is the market building up, orders, building up liquidity in order to be sprung to the upside. This large imbalance of price, if it's a real big imbalance, I don't trust it, right? I only trust the imbalances that's like, kind of small, to be honest, like this right here. For the sake of time, I'm not gonna go all the way back, but I remember there's like a little imbalance in here, like probably on like the 5 minute or something. Like I'll trust that a lot faster than I trust a super big one like this because this is harder for you to tell. It's like, okay, do I take the trade from here? Do I take the trade from the top of the imbalance? Do I take the trade from the middle of the imbalance? It's like a lot of different variables for them. So I just tend to skip them all together. And I'd rather trade the ones that are small and tight because it just it just makes a little more sense to me personally. Right. So GU, I'm expecting bullishness. We actually never got that buy opportunity on EuroCAD last week. And the thing is, it may happen this week now. It's just stalling out a little longer than expected, which is okay. The markets never quite move exactly how you want them to right away. So last week we was over here. I expected the market to come down underneath this low and then buy up. Obviously, the market went up some. Now it's back in the process of dropping, which is fine to me because now I just see a potential build up that makes selling off a little more attractive and then us buying back up again. So overall, same type of analysis on EuroCAD. Just got to be a little more patient for it. That's all. All right. So short term sell, long term buy. All right. So far as GBP CAD, obviously we looked at this last week. We had all three take profits hit, but the market actually came back the exact same trade and ran it back. Right. So I wish I was paying attention to this. I probably would have took another jab at it, to be honest. But same setup I already had. It hit once, came back, hit again, but the second time it hit even better. So I was looking for the potential to buy right here, right? As the market was just melting, I really didn't see a reason to get into it at the moment. So I kind of let it pass. But ultimately, I was looking at that zone previously. Since the market did break lows altogether, I do think this is probably an important place to pay attention to for the potential of the market actually making that move to the upside. But overall, lots of bearishness, right? Lots of bearishness. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just not gonna buy it the way it's falling right now. It's a little different in my opinion, where GU said like a longer period of consolidation and building up orders. Whilst like for me, GCAD is just melting, right? It's just melting. It didn't really range, didn't really consolidate and show me where liquidity could be, building up. So for me, GCAD, I'm gonna have to like pass on it until I just get more price action that, makes me comfortable taking it. All right. Nas, I did lose on Nas last week. I was anticipating a buy here, didn't quite happen. So guess those sales are a little more serious than I anticipated because, I was telling myself, every time I see Nas sales off, it eventually goes back bullish, right? And I feel like that this will eventually go back bullish, but however, it has been bearish for the past few weeks. And it ain't letting up yet. So um, I kind of made an assumption that it will just go up because that's what it typically does whenever it's been dropping this long. But nah, Nas is actually bearish. Like looks like it's bearish for real this time. But I don't really have a trade on this at the moment. With the market, dropping the way it did. I don't really see anything else that I'm really too interested in. So just with that, I'll probably pass on Nas, at least for the first few days of the week, right? So far as USD CAD is concerned, not a whole lot of price action if I'm being honest. Although I do believe the market will keep dropping, just about the comfort level of getting into a trade, right? Like I could see certain indications that may make me want to sell. I just gotta decide if I'm cool entering right here. I feel like the entry is a little late. Stop loss is pretty big, but I could see us getting something like this. But again, with a stop loss that large for me, it's like there's rare instances where I'll take it anyway. But I'll probably be more willing to miss this trade than to take a trade with a 65 pip stop. Ultimately, I do believe that it'll keep going bearish. Um, it's a little rough trying to find an entry opportunity. That could be it though. If you're comfortable with that type of stop, I mean, be my guest. It's just not something that I've done over the years recently. So, it's hard to start now. So gold hit his level. I forgot about this completely. And it's because like I mark up gold for the weekly outlook, but if I'm being honest, I don't trade it that often. So I know when a lot of people that watch the calls, a lot of people that tune in, they trade gold. So I mark it up, but then after that, I rarely look at it again for the week. And I probably should have because that 24.14 level was a level that we did talk about. I want to say it's last week, possibly on a weekly outlook, or if it wasn't on a weekly outlook, it's definitely one of the early calls I do during the week. And definitely came up, hit perfectly, and now it's starting to drop. So, I did end up missing out on that one. But you know, we just came and hit that 50% level, really. 50% of the buy to sell candle. And market, manipulated, hit it perfectly. And I just like seeing setups like this because you see how everything plays out perfectly. You got a high here, got a high here. You want to see that manipulation come into the market. When you see a candle this large, it's institutional activity because us as retail traders don't have the ability to move the market that far, right? Like this is a gold that popped up, that much. So you should already know right off the bat that somebody with more power than you and I are responsible for that. And if they're responsible for that, they'll probably be responsible for the next big drop. So it's about paying attention, actively paying attention. Really the name of the game and trading, right? We got AED CAD. Yeah, I don't see nothing that catches my eye on AED CAD. Not one single thing. AU going bullish potentially. I could definitely see that. Yeah, I could see AU going bullish, at least for the short term. This is a pretty big area imbalance. So I do gotta be careful with this. It might just run that low completely. Now that I think about it, when I see these big areas of imbalance, I usually don't trust them. The sell to buy candle isn't that strong either until you get to that imbalance. The market might just come and take this low completely and then pop up. So can it pop up from where it is? Absolutely. But if this did happen, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Right. So, definitely have an option A and option B when it comes to AUD USD. Right. I mean, AUD JPY is clearly in the uptrend. Really, right now, it's just about, entry opportunities. That's the main thing I can see. Market has already shot up well over 100 pips. We can retrace some. I'd definitely be more willing to take a look at AUD JPY. But to my knowledge, it's just a little too far out the way for me to get into it now. AUD CHF definitely got obliterated on that one. I lost 5 pips, so it wasn't bad. But it was funny because I got a decent reaction to start with. I was like, okay, trade looking good, whatever. Yeah, I was up like 10 pips. And like right after I said I was up, like right after we came and wicked this level, we started popping up. Right after I sent that message, the market collapsed. I was like, you know what? That's why sometimes you just gotta, be cool, not say nothing until the trade, win or lose. Because they got that screenshot curse is real. Talking before you win, just not good luck, right? So I did hit TP1 on Euro USD. I'm trying to remember. We went over this. When was this? The 17th. So whatever day that was, I think it's like a Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that. The market created these lows. We swept, had a hezzy crossover. I wanted us to come back into that level. What's that, 0.62? Pop up 45 pips, the TP1. As you see, perfect entry. Um, TP1 secured. I do see this continue to go higher though, right? So the same way I think the DXY is gonna go bearish, Euro USD should do the opposite. All right. So, that's pretty much the setup I have on Euro USD. Does have some more ways to go. Yeah, I personally do feel like it has more upside than anything. Ultimately, nice way to start the setup. So Euro JPY is completely erased that move that we caught a couple weeks ago. Is interesting. But I never quite got activated in Euro AUD. So if you guys had that one marked up, I mean, you could definitely erase that one. That chart is way too far gone. Yeah, nothing really cooking on the JPYs for me. I told y'all how I feel about GU. Yeah, nothing else I really see worth taking on that side of things. Take a quick look at indices. They all pretty much doing the same thing, well, except US 30. Like US 30 got a mind of its own right now.
Bro, US 30 been tweaking.
That's what it looked like. So what it looked like. I wonder if it's gonna make a turnaround though. Because like I said, all big retracements and indices are followed by another bullish rally. So with us being right here, it just kind of makes me curious if we're gonna get another rally from this point. Yeah, it could potentially buy up again, but obviously it's too far up to buy. Taking a sell might be a little risky too. He did clear highs to the left. I don't trade 30. It's very rare you'll see me trade it, but if this is a hezzy crossover and this is a retracement, be on the lookout for this level up here. I know it's the easiest one to draw out, so it's not like I'm just saying that's the high and marking it up, right? Like that's what the most simple smart money traders do, right? I'm looking for very specific things, looking for hesitation before we break structure lower, right? So I got a low here, hesitation, that hesitation. Then we clearly make a new low. So now I can come and clear out those areas of hesitation, then continue to drop. Obviously, have an option one and option two, option A, option B as well. And then that should protect you as well. But yeah, overall, I do think US 30 can drop. Crazy I'm saying that because I really don't trade US 30. More of a Nas person myself. We'll see though. The markets are in two different places right now, so we'll see. I don't even really have to look at the JPYs and know what they're doing. Everything is bullish. A little overextended right now. Excuse me, y'all. Yeah, see, it ain't much you can do once that wick is formed. But I can see this playing out nicely. If there's any chance the market, not sure what's going on over there. If there's any chance the market can retrace a little closer down there, it could be an opportunity, but I've just seen better, right? It's just about high quality setups at the end of the day. And USD CAD it'd probably be clean just to stop losses a little bigger. That's the only thing difference. As I explained, we're already in Euro USD. This is probably the trade I see the most potential in. I'm still watching Euro CAD and GBP CAD. So Euro USD is currently active. Still waiting on Euro CAD and GBP CAD. Right. Any other pairs you guys would like for me to take a quick look at? What other pairs are y'all trading today? Ready. Well, considering that I don't really see anybody else, saying that they need help with anything else, I went just about over every pair. Um, Everything that I saw worth taking the trade on, I mentioned it to you guys. I like to keep the calls a little shorter since a lot of people watch the replays. I don't want them to be too long, and people end up missing opportunities and stuff like that because the Zoom is 2 hours long. So, just with that, real quick, precise to the point. Told y'all wasn't gonna be long, so I do appreciate y'all for staying locked in. All right, but again, if anybody has comments, questions, concerns about anything, I'll stick around for the next few minutes just to make sure everybody's good. All right.